The Metal Gear series is one of the most revered in the gaming industry. Ever since 2015's The Phantom Pain, hardcore fans like me have been eagerly anticipating the next release. Though with original series director Hideo Kojima's very public falling out with game publisher Konami after The Phantom Pain's release, that possibility seemed less likely as the years went by. Especially when you consider that there had been very little development with the Metal Gear IP other than Metal Gear Survive, a game that I would argue isn't too bad. And if nothing else, an interesting expansion of the Fox engine, but plot-wise is Metal Gear in name only. Many series fans are excited about the upcoming Metal Gear Solid Delta, but I have mixed feelings. On one hand, I am grateful that Konami is paying what seems like some fan service by remaking one of the better entries in the series. On the other hand, it is literally the same game released on the PS2 20 years ago with better graphics and more camera options. One could argue that they are just milking the IP for all it's worth, reanimating the corpses of titles from the glory years as much as they can, never adding new entries or expanding the plot, taking a cue from Hollywood and just rehashing previous releases. That may seem like a pessimistic take, but consider this. Ever since before Metal Gear Solid 2 in the early 2000s, Kojima had been trying to step away from the Metal Gear series and hand the reins to someone else. It never happened, and with each subsequent release, 3, 4, and finally 5. It seems as if the Metal Gear formula got more and more distant from the original vibe of Metal Gear Solid's peak, MGS1 through MGS3. Though the production values were always great, it felt less and less like Metal Gear. Maybe this is what Kojima wanted all along. Free to take more liberties on crafting his pompous albeit beautiful AAA titles like Death Stranding. Never having to answer as cantankerously to the Konami corporate overlords. Or maybe the old cliché of not knowing what you had until it's gone rings true. Maybe this ignites the fire Kojima used to have for this series. Maybe he can't stand the thought of one of his masterpieces being handed off to lesser developers, or even competent ones for that matter, that will take it in a different direction than his original vision. Or maybe this is it. Maybe this is as good as it's going to get. Maybe all we get are more remakes with prettier graphics every couple of years. Maybe all we get is to reminisce on better days for the franchise. Hope springs eternal. But unless a miracle happens, unless Kojima the Messiah falls back in love with the franchise he had tried to let go before, works out a deal with a publisher it seems are worlds apart, then maybe Metal Gear is dead. And maybe it's better that way. Thanks for watching, please drop a comment and like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be notified on future content.